Strength through will is how we can reverse the perversion of values that have been instilled in you, in me, and all our brethren, insidiously through generations of ancestral oppression. Though it stood with as much superhuman endurance as anyone could, it left a deep impression. Invisible scars that have caused us to devolve into a state of unconsciousness so malignant, we've nearly forgotten we're not a problem to be solved. We always been the solution they seek to dissolve, with the illusion of ties that bind us to a system that blinds, of most vicious design, which is to free no man. Only together, through sharing of wisdom, can we heal the wounds of division, forever sealing that evil incision, and finally deprogram.
In the ninth grade. Okay, they didn't mind holding you back. If you didn't pass that final examination, okay, if you didn't make at least a C on that final exam, they held you back. A D and a F didn't get no play. Yeah.
So I guess the reason I asked that question is because, for one, I'm gonna say this: I'm not against nobody being educated, but I'm against this. I'm against what the education system trains people to be. Again. Okay. I'm not again. I'm going to say that because people try to take your words and twist them. I'm not against no one being educated, but I'm against what the education system makes you to be. Because a lot of times in this education system, you just learn how to follow instructions. They tell you because you have a degree or you this, that, you smart. When really you're not smart. You just know how to follow simple instructions, and you've been following them so long to where they say, okay, here you go. And what they do, it makes you lose your ability to reason. It makes you lose your ability to really think, because once we were created. If you look at a little baby, what is a baby doing when it first learns how to talk? What is it doing for the most part?
It's actually repeating everything that it hears. Okay.
And asking questions.
And asking questions. Right. And gonna put and everything to get his hand on to put it to his mouth. They want to taste it.
Cause the child is still trying to figure things out.
Yeah, he's still trying to figure things out.
But what the school do is, no, don't question nothing. The school and the church do the same thing. I gotta keep it real. Don't question nothing. Get over there and sit down. But if I'm still trying to figure this out, why I can't question?
Well, a school and a church is basically the same. There's two institutions, basically. Yeah. Yep.
And what it ends up happening, those institutions are breeding grounds for another institution called the prison system. People don't want me to say that, but I mean, it is what it is. So,
well,
go ahead.
See, and I don't mean to cut you off.
No, go ahead. You fine.
But what really created the prison system is not so much the school, is poverty. Poverty basically creates prison.
I don't disagree with that.
All right. I know a lot of people that graduated high school and have a college degree and sitting in prison right now. I met some of them. It's that environment that you're coming up in. And this is just my personal opinion. When you're living in poverty, you're subject to break the law. because you want more. And in many cases, you have to go out there and take it. I mean, just like if you watch the movie, the Hoodlums, where the black people had started the number system, and this old gangster, so white gangster Dutch chills tried to take it.
Yeah, the whole lottery thing.
Yeah, and yeah. See, they took that from us. We started that, but they came along and patented and licensing it.
Like they
now,
do, like
and
they
now
do
it's,
everything else.
Yeah, and now it's a multi-trillion-dollar business, not multi-billion. It's a multi-trillion-dollar business. Okay, see, but Lawrence Fishburne told Vanessa Williams, because they were supposed to be, they was dating in the movie.
Okay.
That the only thing the white man left for him was the underworld. He got out of prison. He couldn't find no job. All right. So he went back to the underworld. And that's all out here for some people, based on the economy and the system and how white supremacy has blackballed our people for years and years and years. Sometimes it don't left nothing for them to do but go to the underworld, educated or uneducated.
Okay, let me ask you a question, because that's a perfect segue leading into why I even asked you about desegregation. Do you believe, this is just me asking, do you believe that the desegregation helped create or help further? I'm gonna just say further. Do you believe the desegregation helped further white supremacy?
Yes.
So would it be safe to say one of the head leaders of desegregation was Martin Luther King, correct?
Yes.
So would it be safe to say that Martin Luther King helped push the agenda of white supremacy?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, but he didn't. I don't think he really knew it at the time. I don't think he really knew it at the time. But segregation further, because they didn't segregate it. They didn't do it. They didn't integrate us because they wanted to. They integrated us to slow down our progression, our progress.
Say that one more time, because I love to hear points like that, because that needs to be said one more time.
Yeah. White supremacists integration was not for to benefit black people that much. Its basis was created to slow down the progress of blacks. All right, because white supremacists never wanted blacks to be totally independent as a people. No, they wanted you to be able to come to them for what you need. They wanted you down here, and they always wanted to be up there. They never wanted you equal or almost equal with them. So that's why they've always tried to stop black progression. Like Wall Street in Wilmington, North Carolina, like Wall Street in Oklahoma City. Tulsa, Oklahoma. So yeah, so integration hurt us worse than it helped us. All right, it was indirect discrimination. See, there's two types of discrimination. There's direct discrimination and there's indirect discrimination. A lot of times, indirect discrimination you don't even see coming.
So would you say indirect discrimination is most of the time psychologically worse than direct discrimination?
Right. See, Because when you find out they done slided up in you, they're getting ready to nut. When you find out they're up in you, they're about ready to explode.
Okay, let's bring this to modern time. Okay, because I hear you speak on. We gonna start here. Jesse Lee Peterson.
Mm-hmm.
And see, Jesse Lee.
You don't mind if I smoke,
man? You in your house, man.
Okay, I should actually stop
the show. When I bring you in, I want you to be you. Don't, cause see, that's the problem. A lot of times we can't have conversations because we can't have people. I don't want you to be no other way than who you is. Cause that's the way we gonna be able to build together.
Right. No, Jesse Lee Peterson. What was you going to ask me about him?
Like I talked about Martin Luther King being back in the day. Martin Luther King being a tool of white supremacy, whether he knew it or not. I believe he knew it, but we're gonna leave that alone for right now. But okay. Jesse Lee Peterson, he's another quote unquote tool of white supremacy. Do you agree or disagree?
Yes, I agree. He is. He is. That's who, in my opinion, I believe that's who finances his format.
Why you believe that?
Well, I just feel that way. I just feel that way. I mean, I could be wrong, but I feel as though that he's being supported by white supremacists financially because he's a pawn, in my opinion, for white supremacists. See, you got to understand one thing about white people. They love for you to talk down about your own people. It pleases them. Because see, their main objective, even during slavery, was to cause distrust among the slaves.
Do you think, let me ask you this, do you think that's all white people or just the system of white supremacy?
The system of white, I think it's a system of white supremacists.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a system of white supremacists. And you know, Willie Lynch told them to use that system every chance they got. When you understand the Willie Lynch letter, it says you use that every chance that you get, you use it, and they'll use it, and they also use it through our own people, because for enough money, our own people will sell us out. For that bag, our own people will sell us out.
For for a bag of IOUs.
IOU.
So we getting sold out for a bag of IOUs.
Yeah, for nothing.
For nothing.
Mm-hmm. You know, when you listen at what Dick Gregory said at the time Martin Luther King got shot, if you ever listen to one of Dick Gregory videos.
Yeah, I'm very familiar with Dick Gregory.
Okay. The thing that he said, and I'm not going to repeat him here because I don't know how you feel about, but
I mean, speak your mind. I ain't tripping.
But according to him and what he said, Martin Luther King was set up to be shot
by Jesse Jackson. I said, yeah, I'm very familiar with it.
Because he wasn't supposed to be on the balcony anyway. In the open.
He wasn't even really supposed to be in that room.
Right. See, so our people will sell us out, because if you notice, Jesse Jackson went on to become to have enough money to run for president of the United States after that. All right. Where did he get all that money from? It takes money to run for president. Who backed him? Even though he lost. See, but you got to have money to step out there, say you want to be the president of the United States.
Which really, Martin Luther King's death helped elevate Jesse Jackson's platform.
Yeah. Yeah, you know. So your own people will sell you out. And you know, white people have been known to use our own people against us.
So Jesse Lee Peterson is like an old version of them using it. Who do you see that's a new version?
Well, Jesse Lee Peterson is the hottest thing out there now. He is the new version to a certain extent, because he's the hottest thing out there as far as downing black people and the family structure and all of that. I mean, he's the hottest thing out there now.
What about Charleston White?
Charleston White is negative and positive. I listened to a video of him last night where he was on the Boss Talk.
Okay.
It was pretty nice. It's a pretty nice video. That's the Charleston White that I like. Okay. So Charleston White is negative and positive. But sometimes it takes what Charleston White is putting out. I had to realize that because I've been thinking about Charleston White a lot. Sometimes you have to go there to get us to think and wake up. So I see him as being negative and positive. Now, when you're down in somebody's religion and all of that, you can disbelieve in it, but it's the way you speak about that.
Yeah.
All right. That part of Charleston White I despise. Okay. The thing that he said about the Nation of Islam and their religious leaders, I despise that. The thing he said about Christianity and how we be in the church looking at women's ass and stuff like that.
Okay, but let me say this. I follow the Bible, but I gotta keep it real. A lot of the stuff, he ain't telling no lie, man. Cause I'm gonna be on that. I ain't saying everything
Well,
he say.
I'm not saying that, but some things you just don't tell about your people. Okay, all right, now
I'm with you. I'm with you on that.
Okay, some things you don't want. See, that's like I say. I hate to see a fight on social media.
If me and you got a disagreement, you being my elder, I supposed to have enough. This me. I supposed to have enough respect for my elders to say, "Hey, let us have this talk on the side." This ain't
right.
This ain't for
right. This ain't for everybody. This ain't everybody for no. Go back to your Federal Reserve note. Go back to your Federal Reserve note. They said this note is legal tender for all debts, public and private. That meaning there's a public side and a private side. Some things should stay on the private side. That's why I hate to see two brothers or two sisters out there on social media fighting. Okay, you can pull up black fights all day long on YouTube. Okay, I hate to see that. And what about the asshole that's sitting up there recording it? All right. Yeah, we know there's got to be fights in the ghetto. We know there's going to be fights in the hood, but we don't need to let the whole world we don't need to let the whole world see this. We don't need to let the whole world see how we beat down our own people. But then we complain about it and get hot about it, mad about it when it's done by another race or ethnic group or the police. Well, yeah, for that. But if you're gonna sell your soul,
they do.
Okay, for a piece of money. All right. See, so Charleston White, you look at some of his video, it's dead on the money, and a lot of times he's telling the truth. All right, he's told some truth now.
So you would say that Jesse Lee Peterson is way worse than Charleston White.
Right. Yeah. I'd rather listen to Charleston White than to listen to to Jesse Peterson, because Charleston White tells the whole story. He tells the rest of the story. Okay?
Even if you don't like it.
Even if you don't like it, he tells the whole story. You see, he goes to why I'm like this, or why this happened, or why that happened. That's what I like about him. When all Jesse Peterson do is go in at you and try to criticize you and jack you up and make you say and answer the question like he wants you to answer it. So long as you condemning your own people and yourself, he cool with that. He likes that.
I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this about Jesse Lee Peterson on the Deprogram show. This me. This you ain't. If you agree, that's fine. If you disagree, that's fine too. But anytime a man call another man the great white hope, you pushing white supremacy. White people don't even call a man the great white hope.
That's right.
So,
right.
I mean, I'm here to keep it real, all the way real. Jesse Lee Peterson, he's a beta male pretending to be an alpha male.
He's a beta male pretending to be an alpha male. He grew up on a plantation. He said that there's no such thing as racism. All right. Well, for a man to say something like that, in my opinion, it's got to be pretty ignorant to the system in America, because slavery was racism. But I don't think Jesse Lee Peterson know the definition of racism.
You got to think about it like this, though. If I'm getting paid to talk about my people who look like me, who I grew up with, they raised me, then this not me. I'm just speaking for in terms of how he thinking. I'm gonna say racism don't exist because these same people that you say hate me, they don't hate me, and this is what he's rationalized. They don't hate me because they giving me this.
Well, yeah, but
that's how he trying to rationalize it, which is bogus.
Which is bogus and stupid, because I'm not gonna. I know some black people that's fucked up, right? Jacked up, tied up, wrapped up in sin, all right? And I know there's a lot of errors that we make and a lot of stuff we need to correct, but they still my people. They're still my people. And they're the original people. So I'm not gonna turn on them. I'm gonna get out here and try to help them the best way I can. Right now, the best way I can help them now is with my mouth. Okay, I'm broke as hell. I ain't got no money. I got a house. It worth about 40, maybe 50,000. I got some vehicle. I got food, but I ain't rich. But I'm not gonna sell out my people.
Let me say this. Let me say this. You might not be rich in this, but you are rich in influence. You rich in morals. You rich in principle. And that always outweigh this. It always outweigh this. So don't say you're not rich.
Okay.
The rich in spirit, the rich in morals are always, because this right here, it's going to fade away.
Yeah. So Mr. Peterson, don't really want to rationalize with the fallen state of black people, because he rocking in the same old boat with us. He just got a platform that he can use, all right, that some of us don't have. because see, slavery was racism. All right. If he was led, see, but I don't think he know the definition of racism.
He know it. It's just
racism, but racism is where one group of people, okay, work against another group of people because they don't like them or because of their skin color, and use their power and an influence to disenfranchise those people that they don't like or got a different skin color. All right. If you don't have power, financial and political power, you can't be racist. See? Black people can't be racist.
He would say that's being prejudiced.
Well, he would say that for being prejudiced, but racism and prejudice is basically the same thing. All right, it's all mixed in the same soup.
So let me ask you this, cause I'm gonna ask this kind of go along with it. Do you think that being for your people, do you think that's a bad thing?
No.
But see, I don't either. This is the problem that I have with the country. This is the problem that I have with it. Keep pushing it. Once we keep, for one, dudes like Jesse Lee Peterson, the reason he have a platform is because people tune in.
Yeah.
The reason you have, and Charleston White even say this. He check this out. This is what he say. I'm putting this macking down. I'm putting down this pimping. Y'all can't even catch up with what I'm doing because you too caught up in the pimping. Proper instruction motivate people. That's what he say. But what he's saying is, if I ain't got your ear, then I couldn't even make no money.
Mm-hmm.
And he know that people so emotional. If black people stop watching Jesse Lee Peterson or stop repeating what he say, he wouldn't have no platform.
He wouldn't have a platform.
So
he wouldn't have a platform. Yeah.
The thing about it is, one of the things somebody need to do, I don't really care about. I know what he doing. I peep the game. Jesse Lee Peterson asks people, he really reflect what his problem is. You know what he always asks every guest he have? Because his show, I studied his show. His show is pretty much the same thing. He asks all guests the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Jesse Lee Peterson's biggest problem is with his mother.
Wow.
That's why he always asks questions. Did you forgive your mother? Did you have you worked out issues with your mother? The reason he's asking people have they worked out issues with their mother, because his biggest issue, and the reason he hate women, his biggest issue is with his mother.
Yeah. Because his mother. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
He hate women.
Because he hate the fact that he was conceived out of wedlock.
So he hate his mother for that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. See, because he said my daddy had to marry my mother for me to keep me from being born out of wedlock. But if you conceive out of wedlock. So you rocking in the same old boat with everybody else. Okay. Yeah. And they were poor. His daddy left his mother right there on the plantation. Because he grew up on the plantation. So that's racism. Because who owned the plantation?
The mouse. The mouse.
You're living on the plantation because you're poor as hell and you can't afford to live nowhere else. That's racism. Okay. You've been disenfranchised, and the reason why you're disenfranchised because your granddaddy and your grandmama was disenfranchised, and the reason why they were disenfranchised because your great grandmama and granddaddy was disenfranchised. So there was 3 generations. All right. See? Behind you that was disenfranchised. See? They don't explain that stuff. See, when black people came out of slavery after the Emancipation Proclamation, they had to start from zero.
Yeah.
Some of them stayed on the plantation because they didn't have nowhere to go. They didn't know how to travel. They couldn't read a map. So our ancestors had to start from zero. See? So that's why we're in the shape today. If it hadn't been for slavery, black people's lives would have went in a different direction. That same man that you see underneath the bridge or out there begging or nasty and dirty and stinking, okay, or pushing a shopping cart. That man might have been a millionaire today, hadn't been for slavery.
I'm gonna say this, and you might disagree. Slavery, I'm not. Hear me when I say this. Slavery helped us to persevere. I believe that the quote unquote desegregation. Because look at us, even after slavery. Desegregation is the worst thing, even worse than slavery, to us as a people.
Well, yeah.
Because
it is. But we didn't. But see, one thing about it, we didn't take advantage of it. It wouldn't have been like that if we would have took